I was scrolling through Instagram, aimless, mindless scrolling, and then this specific video caught my attention. At first, it seemed like an harmless video of a mother breastfeeding her child. This is very good and it could be educational, teaching women the importance of breastfeeding their children. But then, I noticed something more sinister. I began to see a pattern. The gazes, the camera angle, the sexual undertone, the caption. Something stuck out to me. These videos were not innocent. They presented a very innocent and harmless front. But there was something more fetish to them. And then I asked myself, are these children be used as props? Is this the sexualization of breastfeeding? So the question is, are we really teaching people about breastfeeding? Or is this a new form of fetish wrapped up as parenting? Now let's be real, social media has done a lot of good when it comes to bringing awareness about breastfeeding. In the past, breastfeeding used to be seen as a somewhat shameful thing. You're not expected to do it in the open, or you're not expected to even do it at all in some places. However, due to globalization and technological advancements, internet, social media as a whole has been able to promote breastfeeding and give awareness to the importance. But because breastfeeding is now an act that is more embraced, we have seen the emergence and explosion of breastfeeding videos on internet and on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But not all of this content feels safe or genuine. A lot of them are being packaged as seductive. I mean, take for example this video I saw of a mother breastfeeding her son. It ought to be harmless, right? A mother is just showing a child love and affection by nurturing this child. But why then is she giving me the creeps? Why then is this video making me so uncomfortable as a viewer? Why don't I feel educated? I feel as if I'm being sold a new form of con. Is this a fetish? I think it is. Analyzing this video critically, she is giving more focus to the camera rather than the child. There is a way she gazes into the camera that suggests something more explicit. And this is not me jumping into conclusion. I will show you a range of more videos that better solidifies my point. You can properly breastfeed your child without being nude. You can properly breastfeed your child without alluding to something else. I mean, we all know how you got that child. There is nothing shameful about birthing a child. But what is shameful, in my opinion, is the sexualization of the motherhood experience of breastfeeding. For what purpose? Money? Attention? Is this the latest cash grabbing scheme on the internet? I feel a lot of these mothers are taking advantage of this loophole on many social media platforms, particularly Instagram. Initially watching this kind of video, you would assume it's just an harmless video and you might even scroll away if you're not interested. But if you're someone that you're aware about the need for breastfeeding, you'd want to watch it to be educated. But then watching this video, critically analyzing it, you're going to discover that there is more to it. But because Instagram and a lot of other platforms are not yet aware of what these people are actually packaging and promoting in these videos, these kind of videos are not being restricted. I mean, these videos are very sexually suggestive and even somewhat explicit because the woman or the women are usually very exposed, and most times this video have a setting of a con video, particularly an OnlyFans video. It is very subtle, but it is there, and you have to have a keen eye to be aware of this issue. I mean, the combination of the motherhood experience with a sexual implication is very alarming. I see no reason why you should combine these totally distinct concepts together. I mean, it's a weird hybrid combination. It's like, look at me breastfeeding my child, but look how sexy and seductive I look while doing it. I mean, the video says it all. They are sexualizing motherhood, packaging it as raising awareness, while in reality, all these people are seeking is attention and money from willing participants and viewers. And because of how many of these videos come off, you see people leaving creepy messages requesting for more content like this. My major concern is about the children. There is almost no respect for motherhood and the protection of children. In this 21st century, it seems as if people will do any and everything for money. The goal is money. Mothers are custodians of their children. They are nurturers. They are meant to protect them from evil. And I personally believe that this is a new form of evil, because fetishization of your own child for money while breastfeeding them on the internet is a new low. And I think a lot of people are not yet aware of how rampant this kind of video are on the internet. That is where there is not yet a lot of criticism about them. But if you take your time to explore the internet, search for videos like this, you will see a lot of prompts come up. You will see things like breastfeeding 4K, breastfeeding videos, just videos that allude to a more sexual nature. I don't know if the algorithm is fully aware of the nature of this kind of videos, but I feel they should, because there should be people monitoring videos on the internet, right? And if they are doing their job correctly, there should be proper restrictions on videos like this. Many a times the children are not even being protected. Their identity is there in the open. They don't blur their faces, and at times you even see the mother encouraging the child to suckle on her nipples and engage with the breast in a way that is quite disturbing, to say the least. These videos are overly flirtatious. It doesn't seem as though it's about the baby anymore. Take this video for example. Watch the mannerism, watch the gesture of the mother. I think I'm falling for you. And there is also the dangers of pedophiles engaging with this kind of video, because if a mother can put a child out there in this way, what is stopping pedophiles from stalking these children through their mother's page? What is stopping pedophiles from leaving nasty comments on these videos? And there is a risk that many of these children will grow up to later regret that they have such videos, memories of them on the internet. I just find it very unfair as a person, because I can imagine if my mother had such a video of me on the internet and I'd grow up to see something like that, I would feel as though it was more of a selfish act on her part, and I wouldn't feel happy. If anything, I would want and I would request that she takes down those videos. What makes it worse in many of these videos is that these children are used as bait. They are not just part of the video. They are the prop. They are unknowing, they are innocent, simply enjoying their mother's milk. And that is when a mother is using her child as fetish for creeps to gain attention and money on the internet. And this isn't about policing moms or shaming how women dress. This is about questioning the intent behind many of these videos. What is the purpose? This is about us as a society recognizing how social media is blurring the line between empowerment and exploitation. This, if you ask me, is not empowerment in any way. This is the sexual exploitation of motherhood, specifically the very beautiful and innate act of breastfeeding one's own child from one's own breast milk. And if we don't talk about this phenomenon, who will? And if we let it slide, what message are we sending to mothers, young mothers, expectant mothers, to the world, to young children? Is this the kind of world we would want to grow up, where everything personal is now on the internet? No, I will not let it slide. Because genuinely speaking, many of these videos are off, and this is not to be discriminatory or segregatory, but the prevalence of this video is among the Western society. I am not saying that in the African or other societies they do not breastfeed their children. The difference is that it is very uncommon for them to post things like that on social media because they see such act as precious. Some even see it as very sacred act. For them, it's a union between a mother and a child. It's a stage and a way of a mother connecting with her child. So for them, it is far too valuable for it to be on the internet. I understand that societies are different, values are different, but I believe there's a universal agreement that children should be protected regardless of the content the mother are making. Your child privacy should be respected. This kind of content raises the issues of whether breastfeeding should be allowed on the internet. Many of these contents are not educational. They are not trying to raise awareness about the dangers of not breastfeeding your children. If anything, they are just to make money, and they're just fetish clickbait videos. Nevertheless, I do not think that there should be an eradication of breastfeeding videos totally on the internet. I just think that many of these videos should be carefully curated, they should be monitored, they should be restricted if they violate specific guidelines and ethical considerations. If that is in place and the video checks all boxes, why not? We need more awareness as regards women issues. Awareness is good, especially through the internet, because many a times people don't sit down to read books on motherhood, on raising children. I'm sorry to say, we're in the 21st century. People don't have time to read books, or many people don't make time to read books. So the internet is where many people like me get good information from. Although I do enjoy reading books, but I haven't gotten to that stage in life where I have to start reading motherhood books or anything. This also leads me to a very important point: privacy and data protection. As a law student, I know the importance and value of one's privacy. I think many of these mothers don't recognize the fact that putting your child out there, especially in such manner, is you just taking on a bad bargain. It's not benefiting them or the child in any way. Maybe for a little while, but in the long run, it is not beneficial to the child. And many a times, it is very irrevocable. As the saying goes, the internet does not forget. And many of these videos stay on the internet forever. So these children, because a lot of them are not kept anonymous, they would grow up to have their data practically leaked by their mother. And it is sad that most times it is these children that would have to grow up to realize what they have lost when they get older. Another issue that can arise from this kind of videos is bullying. These children will grow up, and many a times they become victims of bullying. It is quite unfortunate, but bullying is a serious situation in our society globally. Now imagine bullies and mean people having access to this kind of videos of innocent children on the internet. Can you just think of the damage it will do to them? That is another consideration. And aside that, the simple ethical consideration: is this right? Is this morally okay? Is this sound? In my opinion, no, it is not, because it all boils down to intent and purpose. The intent is not pure, you're not raising awareness, the purpose is for monetary gains. So these two factors don't lead to an innocent equation, in my own opinion. So these videos should not be promoted, and if anything, they should be restricted on the internet. And now, an African perspective. So this segment of the video would be me just analyzing these videos in an African perspective. Well, in Africa, women are expected to breastfeed their child. I think the shame around breastfeeding is not prevalent in Africa compared to other Western countries, but you are not expected to be so undressed when breastfeeding your child. That is why there are bras that are specifically made for breastfeeding mothers. So when I saw many of these videos, I was taken aback, because I realized that a lot of these videos were filmed in the public. But just seeing the setting of many of these videos, I was so confused, because in Africa, a mother is regarded with honor, especially a breastfeeding mother. So if people notice she's even trying to breastfeed or anything, they would carry their eyes away, or they would even try to provide something, a covering for her to shield and protect a baby. So when I saw the reckless manner in which many of these mothers were breastfeeding their children, I was disappointed. And I think it boils down to difference in values and norms, societal norms. But you would agree with me that as a societal norm, a mother ought to protect a child from every dangers lurking on the internet, and many of these mothers have failed to do so. So now that all this has been said, what can we do to ensure that this phenomenon dies down? If it is a trend, it stops trending. What can we do? In my own opinion, I think first, social media platforms has a huge role to play in this situation, because if they continue to restrict videos like this, suspend accounts for violating guidelines, there will be no benefit to mothers to make videos like that. Secondly, I think there needs to be education on the morality and ethical considerations of videos like this. We have to educate new mothers. Some people don't know that videos like this are wrong. Let's give them the benefit of doubt. If these women are educated that the child should be their primary focus at the end of the day, the welfare, the protection of that child should supersede any need for money. Because some of these mothers will argue that they're just trying to make money at the end of the day to take care of their children. So that is why there is a need for education, that there should be a distinct line between catering for your children and endangering them to feed them. So education, enlightenment, awareness, I think that is another way that we can fight this phenomenon. Another thing I think that can be done is regulation. I take this from a legal standpoint. I think there should be better laws in place protecting children as regards data privacy and their information being on the internet, because as I earlier said, this is like a loophole, because this is not something that a lot of people are aware of. So mothers are wrongfully taking advantage of this. But if there are laws in place forbidding such videos with such explicit or sinister themes from being displayed on the internet, then these mothers will be totally banned and restricted from making such videos. And that is just few among what I think can be done to better combat this trend. So that will be all for today. Please let me know your opinions on today's topic. Also, please don't forget to subscribe so I can make better and engaging videos like this for us to dissect on this channel. I'm trying to grow this community, and I would really appreciate if you show support. That means you're liking this video, you're commenting. Please don't forget to do so, and also share this video, because awareness is good. Let's raise awareness on this issue. Okay, yeah, before I say goodbye, I want to thank you guys so much for staying tuned to my channel, because it's been a while I've posted on this channel because I'm a student and school was hectic this season. Well, it's been a challenge, but we're going to surpass it. So if you are still committed to this channel, I really appreciate you so much. Thank you guys so much. And you can see that I came back better, with better videos, better visuals, and just interesting content that I was preserving for this moment to come and use it to compensate you guys. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye. Fetishization.